Greetings and welcome to the 65th Annual National Veterans Day Parade live from the beautiful city of downtown Birmingham, Alabama. We are at the historic Redmont Hotel, and we can see the parade heading toward us right now, led by the Grand Marshals. And after them, you will see the Birmingham Police Department. This has been a definite day of surprises, and we are stepping out onto the very mezzanine that I have dreamed of being on since I was a teenager and I first saw a picture. My name is Karen Day, and my partner in crime today is Kevin Neely, and we are standing here on the mezzanine watching the parade as it comes toward us.
That's right, Karen. It's the very historic mezzanine of the Redmont Hotel where many presidents have watched this very Veterans Day parade come through.
I think so. I definitely know there was one, and I was trying to find the postcard of it, which is probably the reason I was a little bit late getting here today.
If I remember correctly, it was President Warren Harding, wasn't it?
Well, actually, the parade that he was watching was back in the 20s, and there were lines and lines of black cars and people crowding along the streets. But today, it's very different. We see a lot of police driving in big circles in the intersection of 20th Street and 5th Avenue North by the Histonat Plaza.
Exactly. We're here in the heart of the financial district of Birmingham, just north of the original downtown district at the corner of 20th and 1st Avenue, formerly known as World's Heaviest Corner.
We'll try not to burden you with too many fun facts about Birmingham, but Kevin and I both are absolute nuts about this city and have been looking forward to doing this parade for a very long time.
The Birmingham Motorcycle Police are continuing their drills as they hit the intersections. They do a couple of loops, do some maneuvers, and show you the capability of their motorcycle abilities. You can probably hear the sirens as they make their way down 5th Avenue, past the intersection at 20th Street, and on their way to 21st Street, better known as Richard Arrington Boulevard.
Yes. Okay. Well, I am going to figure out how to brighten my screen so that we can see. We won't talk to you right now. We'll just let it go. I don't know if you can tell how loud it is at home. Look at that. I would love to have seen them practicing for this.
It makes you wonder where they do that, actually.
Donuts in the parking lot. Wow, look at that.
That's right, folks. These cops do more than eat donuts. They do donuts.
Well, they were fantastic today when I was trying to get through the barricades. We needed to make a quick run down to where they were lining up for the parade. And one intersection at a time, we were trying to get our way back, and they were very, very pleasant. I love seeing all those lights with nothing but good news.
Exactly. It's a nice change of pace.
Ooh, do you hear it?
I do hear it.
Do you know what's coming next?
What is coming next?
It's the Ramsey High School Color Guard, the Ramsey High School Band, and the Ramsey High School Junior ROTC.
That's right. They're still a little ways down the road. For now, we still have the Birmingham Motorcycle Police, followed up by the Birmingham Police Mobile Command Unit.
I am thrilled to death. This is a real parade.
That's right. There is no situation too big for the city of Birmingham to handle, as we have this mobile command unit used by the city to establish order in the worst of situations. And following the Tactical Operations Unit, we have two of Birmingham's mounted police.
You won't believe it. I recognize the horse on the left. He was sitting in the parking lot right behind me over at the Rushton Center. It's 2 buildings down. Probably about a year ago. The horse on the left, I asked the rider what his name was. 3 guesses.
Is it Trigger?
No.
Shotgun?
No, close.
Bullet?
Pistol.
Pistol.
His name is Pistol. And they're very, very sweet and friendly and calm. I love seeing them walk around downtown. And here we are looking at the Ramsey High School marching band, Junior ROTC, and the Ramsey High School Color Guard. I wish I could tell you exactly the year that Ramsey High School was built, but it is one of the original high schools in Birmingham.
Exactly. It sits on a hillside behind the University of Alabama, Birmingham, in the south side section of Birmingham.
And anytime that you see a picture of downtown Birmingham, that beautiful skyline that's taken from Red Mountain near Vulcan, you will see Ramsey High School in the foreground.
And what you're witnessing right now is the Ramsey High School Junior ROTC unit.
Yes.
They are a quite a dedicated unit of students here training to become future veterans themselves.
Yes. Look at that.
That's JROTC programs training America's future officers.
Yes.
Now coming across the intersection here at Richard Arrington Boulevard, we have the Ramsey High School Marching Band from Birmingham, Alabama.
And I think you can see right behind them the color guard as well.
Now you may notice the banners flying across the road here. It is a very windy day down here in downtown Birmingham.
It's a pretty wonderful parade route too. They started in front of City Hall with everyone lining up in the parking lots around the Civic Center, the interstate. They started at City Hall. They headed south. They turned right onto 5th Avenue North, and they're passing by. They will turn right on 22nd Street and pass the Birmingham News, AL.com. They'll head down to 2nd Avenue North.
So let's enjoy a little bit of the Ramsey High School Marching Band. Now making their way across 21st Avenue, here's 21st Street, sorry, is the first of our dignitaries for today.
Yes, this is the Grand Marshal for the 65th Annual Parade, and it is the folks of BBV, let's see, I'm trying to read.
That's Pam Nichols and Amy McDonald, co-directors of Honor Fly Birmingham.
My goodness, I got to hear them speak last night at the Veterans Award Dinner. And those women have to do with making sure that the veterans are able to board planes, go and visit all of the national war monuments for World War II.
And all those veterans come from the 50 states represented by the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts of America passing by right now, bearing flags of all 50 states. Brought to you by BBVA Compass.
Oh my heavens, look at the Cub Scouts.
You know, many of our veterans in the parade today found their way to the armed forces via Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts of America.
Yeah, my brother was an Eagle.
It's great to see the kids out here on this cold, rainy day today.
It is not great to see them in short sleeves. They've got a long way to go.
Hey, they're scouts. They can handle it.
Oh, they're little bitty scouts.
They're tough. Come on.
Yes, the parade turns right on 22nd Street, where it will go down past the Birmingham News, and it will turn right onto 2nd Avenue North, where it is going to pass one of our sponsors for today, Levy's Fine Jewelry. 4 generations of military involvement, and Birmingham is absolutely at the heart of their family.
In 1922, when Joe Denneberg returned home from Birmingham, Alabama from World War I, he made a decision that would affect his family for generations to come.
And we'll tell you a little bit more about them in just a little bit. But right now, we've got the Girl Scouts coming down the street. I think I see them way back. I have never seen so many Cubs in all my life.
That's right. Children start out as Cub Scouts, as Weeblos, and work their way up into the Boy Scout ranks, eventually to become Eagle Scouts, and eventually move into the Explorers program. And there you see Cub Scout Pack 617 from Chelsea, Alabama. We've got lots of scouts out here today. Like I said, it's a very windy, cool day in downtown Birmingham, Alabama, here on 5th Avenue North. Lots of Cub Scouts out here today. It's great to see America's future represented in children involved in a program that enforces traditional American values and leads us to veterans that we know today and thank. And here's Cub Pack. Let's see, that is Pack 120 from Pleasant Grove, Alabama. Riding a nice trailer here. Followed up by some groups of Girl Scouts here making their way across Richard Arrington Boulevard.
I know one of the packs of Boy Scouts was Pack 71 from the Oak Mountain area.
Here's Girl Scout Troop 44 from Kimberly, Alabama. Good to see the girls getting involved today as well as the boys.
Yeah, I was a Girl Scout myself, and
they never would let me be a Girl Scout.
I remember selling Girl Scout cookies to Leo Tischelli, who has a fantastic company here in Birmingham, audiovisual company here in town.
Here's the Battle of the Bulge veterans.
We're going to give you a little bit more about the fellas from the Battle of the Bulge. We want to head down to our girl on the street, Melissa Goff. She is down right now with some crowds on the street. Melissa, what you got?
I have an awesome man here named Mr. George. George, what's your last name?
Lee.
Mr. Lee. He's from Birmingham, right? And you've got somebody special you'd like to say hello to in the parade today, right?
All of my veterans I like to say hello to that I work with at the Birmingham VA.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you work at the VA, and that's what's brought you out today?
That's one of the reasons I came out, but I love the bigness of this event. It's great to see our veterans, celebrated like this. Only in Birmingham.
I know we are the largest celebration for Veterans Day.
Melissa, I need to tell people something right now about what is passing by.
52 years. I mean, it's
what we have right now.
Thank you so much, Mr. George.
We have the men who were actually in the Battle of the Bulge. This is the General George S. Patton Jr. chapter of the World War II veterans of the Battle of the Bulge. These men are survivors of the largest land battle of the U.S. Armed Forces in World War II. More than 1 million men fought in that battle. 600,000 Germans, 500,000 Americans, and 55,000 British. And it lasted for about 6 weeks, and these men are here today with amazing stories from their time in the Battle of the Bulge. I just wanted to get that in before they were all the way past.
Right, they're followed up by Roosevelt McCrae, the president of the Vietnam Veterans of Alabama, chapter number 416 of Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes. The Dixie Division of the Military Vehicles Club. Oh. And coming up, we have the 117th Air Guard marching today.
The 117th is one of the oldest Air Guard divisions in the United States. They were originally established as the 117th Reconnaissance Squadron, and they flew up until recently F-4 Phantoms in service in many major conflicts the United States has been involved in across the globe. Currently, they power the refueling wing. Their mission has been changed, and they support air operations around the world via mid-air refueling.
That's what my father did, and that is a very, very interesting job. I mean, maybe it's... Back in the 60s, my father was a navigator. Well, actually, he was a navigator for a very long time, but it was KC-135s, tankers, refuelings. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, he was circling Spain, and they were refueling. His plane actually had to leave a week early from Ramey Air Force Base because there was a plane that had a wounded wing just from a flight, and they had to remove that plane from Spain before things got really, really busy. So we have this is the University of Alabama Saber Drill. And of course, Miss Alabama, we got to hear her sing the national anthem last night, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I think my favorite thing about it all was when everyone in the room began to sing along. That meant a whole lot. Miss Alabamas are always the prettiest.
And now we have here one of the traditions of a military funeral here on Veterans Day to remind us that freedom is definitely not free. You have the single black horse carried by an attendant with the boots facing backwards. The boots facing backwards symbolizes the death of the rider. And we've got some equestrians coming on here. These folks are always a pleasant part of this parade, doing some drills here on the horseback that you really don't see very often anymore.
I love that noise. I hope you all can hear the hooves. That is magical. I sound like a typical parade commentator. Doesn't it give you chills? It's just thrilling. It's magical, but it is. All of those beautiful hooves.
It's a little slippery out here today.
Yeah. Well, we have some very special Birmingham businesses that we chose specifically to sponsor the archive of this parade. Because they are older Birmingham businesses, or they are run by people who have a great, great long history and love for the city. And the first sponsor, this portion of the 65th Annual National Veterans Day Parade in Birmingham, is brought to you by Sweet Tea Restaurant. Sweet Tea is on the corner of 22nd Street and 3rd Avenue South. It is owned by Mr. Chris Tamaris, and we chose them for one first reason. The food is absolutely fantastic. We're in Birmingham, and I don't know if those of you around the country or around the world know what a meat and three is. But a meat and three is everywhere in the South. You go through the line, you choose your meat, pick out 2 or 3 vegetables, maybe some cobbler and a roll or cornbread, and of course sweet tea. And Chris P. Tamars, the owner, came to Greece from Birmingham in the 50s, and in a few short years, he had a sandwich shop, a lounge, a drive-in, 2 pizza stores, and many dear Greek friends in the food industry, friends that he still has today, friends that we know today. And although his career may have moved him away from Birmingham for a large portion of the time, he always comes back, and his friends always sit with him at Sweet Tea on 22nd Street. We're there about 4 times a week.
It's really good stuff.
And really good stuff.
The cornbread with turnip greens. Remember it.
I know. Kevin taught me. I mean, I'm from the South, but he's the one who taught me you're supposed to stick the cornbread in what's left of the turnip greens.
Here's some people that the parade cannot do without. Mm-hmm. The people that walk behind the horses.
By the way, I needed to be specific. I wanted to tell you about Sweet Tea, but Whispering Dreams, the Black and White Horse, Fred's Horse Club, K&R Stables, Scott's Farm, Alabama Arabian Horse Association, Uncle Ken's Ranch, and Etowah County Sheriff's Mounted Horses. You just saw. That's what you were seeing walk by.
And Karen, right here we have state-worthy matron of Electra Chapter 4, Sister Eleanor Smith.
She is wearing a tiara on a cloudy day. Man.
And while we've got a little bit of a lull here in the action, maybe we should
go to Melissa. She's right downstairs. Tell us what you have. Who is with you, Melissa?
I have some really cute guys here ready to say a special message. Let me go ahead and ask, who are we talking to here? I think we've got Christian and Michael and Noah. And what would you guys like to say today to anybody that's in the parade? Maybe a big thank you?
Yeah, you.
Oh, you're so cute. And thank you so much for telling everybody thanks for serving for our country. You all are great. And thanks for coming out here. All right. So back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Melissa. We are still here at the Redmont Hotel.
And we have the American Legion coming up shortly.
And guess what?
What?
They're here right now.
Yay.
This is your commander of the American Legion, Department of Alabama, right here.
There are several veterans organizations in Birmingham, and they all have a very, very strong presence here.
There's Gordon Seal, the commander of Post 149.
I would love to drive his golf cart.
Followed up by the American Legion 21st District Adjutant. I'm looking down Fifth Avenue right now, and it's a line of cars as far as I can possibly see.
I love it.
Coming up here, we have the chaplain, 21st District of Alabama, with a nice bright smile on his face, waving to the crowd here on Fifth Avenue.
That is excellent. I'm listening. I think I hear the Greene County High School Band. I think they're still way down.
Here is the commander of American Legion Post number 400, Leeds, Alabama. Post 400 sure goes out for this, don't they, Karen? They've got their truck here with a nice set of flags on it. Then they've got a table back here set up, and they're sitting around the table back here. They've even got a vase with a rose on the table.
I'm hoping they have a heater.
I'm sure they do inside.
I want to tell you a little bit more about Sweet Tea. The first thing that we notice when we walk into the building of Sweet Tea is a massive, massive mural across the far wall. You can't miss it on your way to the buffet line. It has buildings from Greece, Birmingham, and Chicago. They're all buildings that figure prominently into Mr. Tamaris' history.
Legion Post 400 has crosses on their trailer here, marking all the major conflicts the United States has been involved in since the Revolutionary War. And here's the commander of American Legion Post 137, Fairfield, Alabama, Mr. Roger Barger. He's followed by a van provided by Hueytown Baptist Church with the rest of American Legion Post 137, the Legion Riders.
That wasn't feedback, that was someone's brakes.
Here's Post 107 again with a POW MIA float that is quite powerful.
One of the best known veterans, prisoners of war, is Jeremiah Denton from Alabama. He was, I believe he was in prison for 7.5 years.
Yes, and
Bud Day, this year's National Veteran of the Year, was in prison for 67 months. And after that, he was able to escape, and that made him the only prisoner of war that was able to escape from the South.
Yeah, Jeremiah Denton was actually shot down while piloting a jet over enemy territory in 1965. He was in prison for over 7.5 years. His refusal to speak out against American foreign policy during his torturous captivity and his stirring pronouncement of God bless America upon leading the first freed American POWs off the plane onto American soil in '73 made him a national hero. He parlayed his fame into political successes in 1980 when he was chosen to the United States Senate, the first Republican to serve Alabama in that capacity in over a century.
And we all call him Jerry down in Montgomery. Very, very nice man. Okay, I want to tell you a little bit more about Sweet Tea because they were kind enough to help us make this archive happen. As I was telling you, the mural that is in Sweet Tea has Greece, Birmingham, and Chicago. And it's all about his history, and he has come back to Birmingham to open up Sweet Tea. And we are very glad that they are a sponsor of the parade.
I bet Mr. Leroy Dover of Post 911 would certainly love Sweet Tea.
A lot of people do.
He's with his auxiliary unit driving by you right now.
Well, I know they need to hang a right on 2nd Avenue North or they won't get to go past Levy's, but they ought to just keep on going straight and get some of those baby limas.
Why not stop at Levy's, pick up a ring, and then go to Sweet Tea?
Pick up our friend Jerry. Another Jerry Nadler.
Those are some beautiful bikes down there right now, Karen.
No kidding. Melissa, what do you see down there on the street? Can she hear me? Oh, boo.
It's Matthew Leonard of Post 267 right there.
Yeah, we have been seeing the American Legion out in force today.
We're going down to Melissa on the sidewalk now.
Yeah, it's okay. Greene County High School.
What we have coming up right now is the Military Order of the Purple Heart Association and the Lady Auxiliary. In order to receive a Purple Heart, one must be wounded in combat or in military operations. All the ladies and gentlemen you see on the float right now have either received the Purple Heart themselves or are a spouse of a Purple Heart recipient. That's the Gresham Smith Chapter, 2202, Birmingham, Alabama.
All of this makes a parade, but first there was the heartache. They're driving down the street and they are waving, and we are glad for it. But these people serve our country.
Now, Karen, if I told you a train was coming down Fifth Avenue North on any other day but today, would you believe me?
I would wonder what you really meant. I think you really mean it. These are the 40 and 8. But first, the Jewish war veterans. I'm looking for them.
They're all right here.
There they are. Okay. So we have seen the Military Order of the Purple Heart and the Jewish war veterans, and now I'm not going to talk anymore. There is a train.
This is the official Promenade National Champion, Fulton County Vulture 217, Atlanta, Georgia. They show up in support of the American Legion, and their train honors Mademoiselle Scarlett O'Hara.
Who can't hear a thing because of all the backfire. What was that?
That was the cannon on top of the train.
I'm glad I have earbuds.
Oh, here's the Tuskegee Airmen. It's Robert Lee Porter, who was a member of the famed Red Tail Squadron.
I believe we saw him at the Alice Stevens Center recently. We heard him speak.
They trained at Moton Field, which is now a historic landmark in Tuskegee, Alabama. And coming up behind them, we have American Gold Star Mothers. In memory of Lieutenant Corporal Jonathan Smith, killed in action June 6, 2003. Sponsored by Alabama Gold Star Families.
Yes. Gold Star families are families, wives, mothers of servicemen and women who have died in combat.
If you were a Blue Star family, that means that you have a child that is currently out of country in service to the military. It changes to a Gold Star if they are killed in action. And you will also have the Gold Star Wives of America following them up. Now making their way across the intersection here at Fifth Avenue and Richard Arrington is the Alabama School for the Blind.
I am thrilled. Kevin, look, did you notice?
We've got another high school coming up here.
They do. I have to tell you, the School for the Blind, they don't have any music. They have all of that memorized, of course. And this is the George Washington Carver High School ROTC and band. We're proud to have them as one of Birmingham's high schools. Look at that.
It's Carver High School doing their thing, coming down Fifth Avenue across Richard Arrington Boulevard. I believe they were playing Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe right there. Carver is one of the more renowned high school bands in our area. I bet today is a great day to be in one of those full band uniforms.
Because it's not a sunny day in August, that's for sure.
Who do we have here next, Karen?
I was about to tell you when you asked me, I went out of the... well, this is definitely not WZZK. I believe this is the I'm sorry.
This is the ROTC.
I mean no disrespect. Yeah, this is the junior. Everything's happening so fast. This is the ROTC for George Washington Carver High School. Yeah. We again want to thank Sweet Tea and Mr. Chris P. Tamaris for sponsoring this portion of the National Veterans Day Parade in Birmingham, Alabama. It is really worth the read to go to the Sweet Tea restaurant website and read the history of this man. He's an immigrant turned entrepreneur who has done extremely well for himself, and because he could not fund his own education, he started a Pan-Hellenic foundation that awards Greek scholarships to scholarships to Greek students to continue their education. He is a fantastic man, and we absolutely love his food.
And I bet these two gentlemen who are World War II naval veterans from Alabama would love it as well, don't you?
I know they would. They'd probably eat all their turnip greens.
I see these two gentlemen in the parade every year.
We definitely need to give a shout out to the receding truck of WZZK and Rick and Bubba. We're glad that they were able to make it to the parade today.
Got some naval groups walking by right now.
Yes, we do.
Got a little bit of military hardware coming through. We've got some Humvees.
Yep. We have Theron Roberts, World War II Navy vets. I believe that they were the ones that we were telling they should have turnip greens. Theron Roberts, World War II Navy vets. We have the Navy Support Center. And
that is one big old truck.
I know. Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can probably hear that at home right now. And let me tell you, that truck is as big as it sounds.
I could jump onto it from this mezzanine and nothing would happen to me.
That's NCHB 12, supporting our community.
Navy Support Center.
Now getting ready to come across 21st Street, here. It's Lyman Ward Military Academy from Camp Hill, Alabama.
Yeah, down south of here. Way down south in Dixie.
One of the two military academies here in Alabama.
I think Marion's going to represent today, too.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Well, you know, Alabama's numerous military bases played vital, important roles in the training of personnel who went on to fight in Vietnam. Especially important to this war, where the air powers and mobility figured so prominently in U.S. military strategies to train aviators at Maxwell and Gunner Air Force bases in Montgomery that served that branch with a distinction, as well as Fort Rucker and Dale and Coffee counties in southeast Alabama, which turned out more than 400 Army aviators a month by the late 1960s, when the installation was the final training stop for the service's helicopter pilots and crews. And we got more dignitaries here.
Yes, we do. We have the Fleet Reserve Association of the U.S. Navy, and we have the Disabled American Veterans.
That's local branch number 112, Birmingham, Alabama. It's the president and vice president. They're followed up by the DAV National Senior Vice Commander, the Department of Alabama Disabled Veterans Adjutant, and then the department commander.
Yeah,
and as his car says, you should ask him about membership. He is followed by the DAV Department of Alabama Veteran of the Year.
Yeah, last night at the Veterans Day Awards ceremony, we were given a lot to think about as far as veterans hospitals and the ability to fund them, and how our elected officials have so many demands coming from so many different directions that we just have to shout louder. I'll tell you something. I am excited. It sounds strange to say excited, but the parking deck for this parade does not go by the VA hospital, but it does go by the parking deck for the VA hospital. The veterans go to that deck, and a shuttle carries them to the hospital.
Like the DAV National Commander here, the Auxiliary Commander.
Yes.
There's the State of Alabama DAV Commander.
And I'm just glad that the veterans finally, actually, if they happen to have an appointment today, they get to be on the route of the parade. Wow, what the heck is that? That has to be the biggest engine in the whole parade today, besides the train.
And it's Operation Enduring Family, brought to you by Alabama Power. More than 80 Alabama Power employees have been called to serve active duty since 2003. We salute you. This is a junior ROTC unit from Birmingham, Alabama right here. These people are training to be future officers in the U.S. military, much in the same vein as Fighting Joe Wheeler, who was born in Augusta, Georgia in 1836. He was a West Point grad. He was a 25-year-old cavalry lieutenant fighting Indians in the West when the Civil War began. He returned to the South and was offered a commission in the Confederate Army. By May 1864, he was made senior cavalry general of the Confederate armies. At the end of the war, he retired to his plantation in North Alabama and studied law. In 1881, he was elected to represent Alabama's 8th Congressional District. Now we're going to throw it down to Melissa. What do you have for us?
I do want to tell you that you were just witnessing the Talladega High School ROTC, and they have some lungs on them, that's for sure. Coming up next is the Hospice Services of Alabama.
Some beautiful old cars there in there.
Yeah. Verizon has a float in the parade today, and it is led by Central Alabama District Floating Manager Carrie Gould. Carrie is an Afghan veteran and a major in the 31st Chemical Brigade. He's from America's most reliable network to the men and women America has relied on for generations, and Verizon would like to say thank you. And we say thank you to Carrie Gould. Melissa, tell us, I can't see you, but I know that you're with some people down on the street below.
I'm across the street from you. Hello.
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 Hi.
Just to let you know where we are, Karen's right up there. All right, so I have somebody really important here. I'd like to say hello. What's your name, sir?
William Alvarez Smith.
All right, and is this your first time at the parade today?
No, ma'am. I've been here 20 or more times.
20 or more. All right. So, do you know anyone in the parade?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You just come out here to celebrate, right?
Yes, ma'am. Celebrate Veterans Day for veterans and our ones inactive.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we like this vest that you have on. Sure, it's got a lot of meaning. Would you mind turning around showing our camera what you have on the back of your vest? Really great. It says, Vets Don't Forget. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. It was great talking to you. Back to Karen and Kevin.
And right now coming across, we have the American Society Daughters of American Revolution, the Cahaba chapter.
And just before them, the people that were dealing with their kilts and their bagpipes on a cold day, the Marion Military Institute marching band. There's a...
We've got more DAR coming up here for you. The Josiah Brunson chapter salutes our veterans. There's the Sunset Rock chapter from Mountain Brook, Alabama, and being very smart in their smart car. You got the Lily of the Cahaba chapter. They are followed up by the Children of the American Revolution.
Wow. There are several chapters of the Daughters of the American Revolution and Sons of the Civil War today as well. Let's see, we also have... I'm trying to see...
This is the Lily of the Cahaba chapter right here.
Oh. I do want to tell you that this portion of the National Veterans Day Parade is brought to you by Levy's Fine Jewelry, another excellent old school Birmingham business. They have been on 2nd Avenue North for 4 generations. That's Levy's Fine Jewelry. In 1922, Joe Denneberg returned home from World War I, and he borrowed some money from his mother-in-law, Esther Levy, and that's where the name comes from. He opened a store that has been in Birmingham for the past 90 years. At that time, Birmingham was a large railroad town, so their inventory included luggage, clocks, railroad watches, trunks, jewelry, and he couldn't remember anybody's name because there were so many friends. He called them all cousins, so he became Cousin Joe.
And no mention of Veterans Day would be complete if we didn't recognize our Medal of Honor winners. And in fact, the city of Leeds, Alabama is considered to have the most congressional honor recipients per capita of any city in the United States. In 2002, Leeds dedicated a memorial located in the city's historical park to the 3 heroes: Staff Sergeant Henry E. Irwin, U.S. Army, World War II; Private First Class Alfred L. McLaughlin, United States Military Corps, Korea; and First Lieutenant William R. Lawley, U.S. Army, World War II. In fact, Henry Irwin was so badly burned in World War II Medal of Honor action that he was not expected to survive. A special flight was made to Hawaii, where the only Medal of Honor in the Pacific was on display. After breaking into the display case at Army HQ, the medal was flown back to Guam, where it was presented by General Curtis LeMay. We've got some more ROTC coming up here, Karen.
Is this Jackson Olin?
I believe it is.
I think this parade might have taken a side street for a minute because they're behind some folks that are supposed to be behind them.
Well, you know how fluid events like this usually are.
It is the truth, and I hope that you at home are able to forgive us for having to be a little bit on the fly as to the order of everything.
This day started out as a very cold, rainy day here in Birmingham, Alabama.
Pouring.
And now it is simply a cold day.
This is very, very true. Yes, this is the Jackson Olin ROTC and band.
Let's tell you a little bit more about Medal of Honor recipients.
Okay.
We had James Michael Sprayberry, who was a United States Army officer and a recipient of the United States highest military decoration, the Medal of Honor, for his actions in the Vietnam War. He grew up in Sylacauga, where he joined the Army from Montgomery in 1967, and by April 25th, 68, was serving as a first lieutenant in Company D, 5th Battalion, 7th Cavalry Regiment, 1st Cavalry Division. On that day, in the Republic of Vietnam, he led a patrol which rescued men who had been wounded and cut off from the rest of their company. In the course of the rescue mission, Sprayberry personally destroyed several enemy bunkers and machine gun emplacements. He was subsequently promoted to captain and awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions. Sprayberry reached the rank of lieutenant colonel before retiring from the Army in 1988. He currently lives in Titus in Elmore County.
He lives where?
Titus, Elmore County,
Oh,
Alabama.
my word.
Hey, here comes Jackson Olin High School's marching band, actually.
I'm telling you, there are a lot of side streets in Birmingham. I bet they stopped off at the Harvard at AmSouth Harvard to get a warm cup of coffee.
Actually, they probably heard us talking about Levy's first, so they went down there, checked out what they have, and then came back this way.
Well, there's certainly plenty that would make them look even shinier today.
This is the Mean Green Marching Machine from Jackson Olin High School. Let's have a listen to them.
Melissa, where are you? I know you're on the street and I know you're with the crowd. You lucky girl. Where are you?
I am here with Mr. Edwin Zahn.
I think
That was the Mean Green Marching Machine of Jackson Olin High School. Now, who is this unit we've got coming up next, Karen?
Wow. You got it.
Here's the Mid-America Corvette Club.
Yeah, you're looking at this Sons of American Revolution and Sons of Confederate Veterans, the Alabama Corvette Club. And
Got some beautiful cars from the Mid-America Corvette Club here.
yes,
You know, the Corvette is made in nearby Bowling Green, Kentucky.
you're kidding me.
No.
Which one do you like better?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like that red one there, though.
Yeah, I know. It looks smaller than the yellow one, even though they're the same size. I find that so strange.
And here we have the Wounded Warrior Project, brought to you by Lakeshore Foundation, Operation Lima Foxtrot.
Lima Foxtrot being Lakeshore Foundation. Lakeshore Foundation has people from all over the world come, and they are an excellent training ground for the Paralympics. Another company well worth Googling.
World renowned for their wheelchair rugby program. We're going to toss it down to Melissa here on the sidewalk. Melissa,
Okay.
what do you have
Hi,
for
guys.
us?
Hi. All right. We've got Mr. Edwin Bizzano here, and he has a great story about how many parades he's been attending. How many parades have you been to there, Mr. Bizzano?
Ever since 1968 when I came back from Vietnam. But I missed that one because I came down with malaria, and I hadn't missed one since.
So it's safe to say the only thing that holds you back is just a little malaria, right?
A little bit.
Okay. You got practically perfect attendance for this.
I'm going to keep it that way as long as I'm living.
That's great to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Melissa. You tossed it back up to us just in time to view the Rainbow Division veterans coming by us here just after the John Carroll High School Marching Band. Rainbow Division is one of the most decorated divisions in United States history. And in fact, if you have driven across the 21st Street Viaduct here in Birmingham, that is better known as the Rainbow Viaduct, named after the Rainbow Division.
I did not know that. I have been driving across that viaduct since 1987, every day. And I missed that, and I can't believe that. It's right there. I feel like a lot of our history needs to be stirred back up and made known to the younger generations, because a lot of heart and soul has gone into what we're seeing drive by today.
And here's veterans from the troop. It's Captain Lynn Brown and Ed Birchfield. Here's Miss Nadine Forrester, United States Army nurse, 75th Hospital. And our friends at 98.7 KISS FM. Here's the American Rosie the Riveter Association. You may remember the Rosie the Riveter posters from World War II. She says, "We can do it." And these are the working women of World War II wanting us to know that we can still do it. That is American Rosie the Riveter Association, the working women of World War II.
And you're looking We've had Rainy Day Patriots. I know that there are two fellas I'm looking for, Richard Fleming and Jack Carter.
The Rainy Day Patriots have already passed us by there.
Rosie the Riveter. And we're honoring Captain Paul Johnson. I believe this is Kennedy Academy that's walking by. Kennedy Academy. Yes. And the Woodlawn High School World War II vets are on their way. Who do we see after that?
This, coming down the street right now, is another one of the more famed high school marching bands here in Birmingham. That is the Parker High School Marching Bisons.
I need to tell you a little bit more about Levy's Fine Jewelry. I can't tell you right now, though. I've got to wait till after the band goes by.
That's right. We're going to enjoy the Parker High School Marching Band here for just a minute as they cross Richard Arrington Boulevard here on 5th Avenue in front of the Redmont Hotel in downtown Birmingham. You are watching the National Veterans Day Parade from Birmingham, Alabama.
I see horns. I'm afraid to tell my story, but I really want to talk about Levy's. What you're seeing right here there's a lot going on today. Okay, more about Levy's. We've told you how he began. During the Depression, things were very, very hard in Birmingham, and Levy's actually began helping their customers by giving small loans for jewelry and watches and even for wooden legs and false teeth past a certain point. And although Cousin Joe died in 1972, the family stayed strong. They came back, and his children, Charles and Rhoda, stepped into his place. And that is when Levy's started changing directions a little bit, and they added antique jewelry and their first on-site repairman. And they worked to preserve the family's legacy and grow the store to have a lot more facets to it.
And that was the Parker High School Junior ROTC passing us by right here. They are followed by the Homewood High School Air Force JROTC.
I think Parker High School was the first band to sign up to be in this parade.
They're traditionally in it.
Yes, it's fantastic.
And let's see, what do we have here?
We have Gold Star Wives. We have the Homewood High School, Air Force ROTC, and Ridgecrest Baptist Church. Rocky Ridge Retirement.
Got some more Army veterans passing by right there.
3 hots and a cot.
And here's cotsforvets.org right here.
Yes, they call it 3 hots and a cot.
Helping all veterans find their way home.
And obviously 3 hots is in reference to the meals.
So what would the cot be a reference to then?
Sleeping in a warm little place. And being snug and safe and well respected and given hope and a chance.
Ensuring that veterans are given the dignity that they deserve.
It's true. I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing at Melissa Goff, our on the street. She's having a great, great time over there. Here we have the Alabama Gold Wing Road Riders.
That is an awesome trailer right there, by the way.
Oh, my heavens. That is a fantastic trailer.
Melissa, we can put you on that trailer.
No,
if
somebody
you like.
little is probably in it.
I wish.
I remember. All right, Levy's. They are in 2nd Avenue North, and they are right on the parade route. So as these folks turn a corner and turn a corner again, they will be on 2nd Avenue North, heading past one of my favorite clients, one of my favorite stores in Birmingham.
And down there very soon will be the Calera High School Marching Band. That was the Calera High School Marching Band from Calera, Alabama, one of the southeastern suburbs of Birmingham. And now coming across the street here, we have the Alabama Elks Association. The Elks do lots of great things in the community, supporting lots of local charities. Today they're here to show their appreciation to veterans who have served in conflicts the United States has been involved in. Following this up is more Alabama Elks Association dignitaries driving with the top down on the convertible today.
I got to talk quick. This portion of the 65th Annual National Veterans Day Parade in Birmingham, Alabama, is made possible by the Vestavia Hills Rotary Club. We want to tell you, when we can, when it's not too loud, we want to tell you about Rotary International, about this district of Rotary, and about the Vestavia Hills Rotary Club itself.
First we had the Winona ROTC right here, though, followed up by the Winona High School Marching Dragons from Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, Karen, why don't you tell us a little bit about Levy's?
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't?
I've told you about Levy's. You need to go there. No, now I am telling you about the Vestavia Hills Rotary Club. Rotary International is the oldest professional service organization in the world, and it was founded in 1905 in Chicago. They were initially created for mutual business exchange and fellowship, but it quickly focused on service, and their motto, service above self. They now have 1.2 million Rotarians around the world in more than 34,000 Rotary clubs in every major country on earth. And the thing that impresses me the most, besides the fact that they are about enabling and empowering people to lift themselves up out of poverty, is that they are determined to lead the world to polio eradication. And they're on the brink. It's happening now.
We just had the Johnson family drive by.
Yep.
Their family members have served in every major conflict of the U.S. since the American Revolution. And we've got some funny-looking people on the road right
They're
now.
the Magic City Clowns. The magic, I think, from what I understand, one of them is married to one of our cameramen. She is an Auguste clown. They're the ones that don't wear the white paint. They're not quite as clowny. But these are the Magic City clowns, and they go around to the hospitals in the city, particularly the Children's Hospital, and I believe the VA. So, and now you're looking at more beautiful, beautiful cars. These are more cars from Team Corvette of Birmingham. And they are carrying veterans. Oh, good. We have a little bit of quiet. So I'm not kidding when I tell you that Rotary International's determination is to eradicate polio from the world, and it has taken a lot of money and a lot of effort from countless thousands of Rotarians around the world to make this so. The Rotary District 6860, which is the northern half of Alabama, has sent more presidents to Rotary International than any other district in the world. One in 1951, 1972, and 2004. And we are a leader in the United States in supporting the programs of the Rotary Foundation through financial gifts to its annual program fund. These guys mean business.
Hey, Karen, here's the General Howland Mad Smith detachment of the Marine Corps League. Semper Fi.
I wish I could hear the story of Howlin' Mad. They look pretty happy today.
The Marine Corps has served with distinction in every U.S. conflict since the American Revolution, when they were started in a bar in Philadelphia. Not on that boat, though.
Tell you what, I want to tell you one more thing about Vestavia Hills Rotary Club. They were organized in 1971. They're still going extremely strong today. The thing that impresses me the most about Vestavia Hills is that more than half of their membership has served in one or more branches of the military, and many of them are out here today. I'm sorry.
This is the Vet Center, the VA hospital. Their mobile unit driving by us right now. And we got Donate Life by the Alabama Organ Center right here. And guess what? It's time for the Shriners. That's Zamora Temple, the past potentate Randall Whitehouse. And I think Melissa has something for us down there. Melissa, what have you got for us?
All right, I'm down here having a great time with a wonderful guy here. What's your name, sir?
Mac Hill.
All right, Mac, and tell me why you happen to be on the sidewalk here.
Well, I was on my way to work, and I just wanted to come and catch a little of the parade.
Just a little bit of the parade, right?
Just a little bit to represent for my vets.
Because you are actually a veteran. Making sure we show that we represent what we believe and stand for here. So we're glad to have you, even if it was just for a little bit today.
I'm glad to be here.
All
and
right.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, back to you, Karen and Kevin.
Yes, I want to thank one more time the Vestavia Hills Rotary Club for being a sponsor of this archive that will be permanent on the nationalveteransday.org website.
Coming down the road right now is the Woodlawn High School, U.S. Army JROTC, the Colonels of Birmingham, Alabama.
This next portion of the National Veterans Day Parade in Birmingham, Alabama is brought to you by Verizon. They support America's active military, reservists, National Guard, military families, and veterans through its sponsorship of various programs across the country, its support of military members employed by Verizon, and through discounts available to veterans and military members. From America's most reliable network to the men and women America has relied on for generations, Verizon says thank you.
That is the Woodlawn High School JROTC coming by us right now. And here is Miss DeKalb Jackson. It's Rachel Rivers, founder of Support Our Soldiers. Now we got more bands coming down the street heading our way. But 1 in 10 Alabamians, more than 300,000, saw military service in World War II. Most were never recognized as hero, except perhaps by their comrades or families. Coming up right here across Richard Arrington Boulevard down 5th Avenue is Bush Middle School, promoting academic excellence.
Verizon's team participating in today's Veterans Day Parade includes Central Alabama District Floating Manager Carrie Gould, who served 18 months in Afghanistan, less than 3 months after joining the Verizon team. Gould is currently a major in the 31st Chemical Brigade. This Veterans Day, Verizon salutes Carrie and all of America's veterans who have risked their lives to defend and protect the freedom that we enjoy every day.
That's Bush Middle School marching band, followed up by some people that are getting a lot of attention. Next, the Salvation Army Disaster Services, which have been deployed all over the U.S. lately.
I want to see who Melissa's with down there on the sidewalk. He's waving a flag.
I'm down here with Mike Carter. Mike, is this your first Veterans Day Parade?
No, I come every year. I was active Army for 3 years, in the National Guard for 10 years, and I'm just proud to be here. Proud of all these guys and gals in uniform and all that. I tear up, and I used to love to march in the parade, because you come marching down the street and all those kids waving those flags, it just gives you goosebumps. So.
Well, we are so happy to have you over here, and I think it's important to say that you were in Korea and Germany and Georgia, and you're a world traveler because of this, huh?
I'm just glad I really am proud to be an American. Thank you.
Well, we're glad to talk to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Carter. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Melissa. What you just saw drive by were the Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club. And there are a bunch of sirens coming ahead.
We also had Comfort Care Hospice come by us right there as well.
Yes. The Veterans Who Care Network. And the
Now, Karen, I'm not sure, but I think this next group is the Birmingham Fire Department.
I don't know. Oh, has anybody seen that little bitty baby Liberty out there? Man, I'm not going to be able to talk much, so I just want to thank the Redmont Hotel here on 5th Avenue North. It's one of the oldest hotels in Birmingham. It's a wonderful place to stay if you're ever able to visit our beautiful city.
Got engines from Birmingham Fire and Rescue Unit 1 right here.
Unlike the people. I believe we want to speak. We don't know if you can hear us over all of the sirens from the fire department, but this is what would be considered the grand finale. The fireworks finale at the end of a wonderful parade, 65th annual. I think we have Melissa down.
There's the Southern Vintage Fire Apparatus Association bringing up the tail there. You have been watching the 65th annual Birmingham Veterans Day Parade. We've enjoyed bringing it to you here from the Redmont Hotel on 5th Avenue in Birmingham, Alabama.
We want to thank Melissa Goff once more.
So down here on the street, we had some really awesome friends being made that were not even connected to each other at all. Heard some awesome stories about people who serve for our country. It's just really been a great day, and so awesome to watch these people have tears in their eyes and getting kind of emotional about how important our country is. So just wanted to give you a big goodbye from down here on the street and tell you we had a great time. Can't wait to see you next year.
And I thank you, Kevin, for being my co-host.
Thank you, Karen. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to Melissa and Rusty down there on the street.
And hopefully we'll be able to see you back again next year.
I'd also like to thank Elliot and Slade and Will, our cameramen.
And Rusty.
And Lewis back here. And
Chrissy, our coordinator.
Mr. Kaneda and Ralph Lindstrom back there manning the
Ralph remembers watching this parade when he was a little bitty boy. And it was one of the few times that his mother didn't get upset when he was marching and marching. So, but we thank you very, very much for watching, and we hope to see you again next year. Happy Veterans Day.